ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another tutorial brought to you by RIB. Today it's an updated December 2020 how to set up a Fivem server video. So first things first, as you're aware, if you come to me and you're using our server pack, so you ask me where do I get my server from, I always suggest you use NFO servers. And the reason I say this, I'm not sponsored in any way by them, it's just I've used them since 2012 with Armour 3 servers and then 5M servers, VPSs, and they did work fantastic. And from what I've seen in my experience, you know, I've been working on server files for supporters for the last year. The amount of people, if you're using your mate's dedicated server or you're using Ice One hosted, no, a lot of the time, 9 times out of 10, you have issues with these hosts and they don't work with Fivem for a start, or they even whitelisted with Fivem, or they even approved by Fivem to be able to rent out VPS servers and be used for Fivem. So I recommend what I use, and that is an NFO VPS, virtual private server, otherwise known as a virtual dedicated server. And the next thing I advise is, you ask me how many cores, and what I always say is if you haven't got a big player base, then just start with a little 2-core VPS, a little 2-core Windows 2019 VPS. If you have got a big player base, then it's whatever you can afford. The more core, the better. I use a 6-core. I've used a 4-core for many years, but I currently use a 6-core. So this is how we do it. So I'm on the NFO website, nfoservice.com. Like I say, I'm not affiliated or anything in any way to this website. It's just I've always had great experiences, feedback, help, support, servers. I've never really had an issue with them, and they work well with Fivem. So if it works well, happy days. And it's just proven so many times that people have come to me and they've got an issue with their server. They ain't working. No, they come and try an NFO server on a free, because they do a free trial for a couple of days and it works. So having the right server to start with helps a lot. You know what I mean? Is puts you in the right direction. If you're gonna go and use your mate's daddy, no, you know, do what's been tried and tested for many years. Anyhow, so if we go to order, this is how you're going to get your VPS, boys. You go to order and you're going to order a virtual machine. I'm just going to take you through this a little bit because a lot of people always say. So this is the cores I refer to. The more core, the better, depending on what you can afford. I use a 6-core. I used a 4-core for years. But a lot of people, if you haven't got a big player base, start down at a 2-core. Now, location isn't ever really a problem. I'm from the UK. I use mine's in Seattle. My servers, my VPS servers, or in Seattle, and I have no issue with ping, about 100 ping, and yeah, no problem. I use Seattle because it's a bigger data center to deal with DDoS attacks and stuff like that. But yeah, don't worry about it. A lot of people get confused with this as well. They think, oh, I'm from India, I can't use Frankfurt. Yes, you can. You're not going to get a server it's very unlikely you'll get a server that's in your country. Somewhere that's close to you, but like I say, it doesn't really matter anyway. I use an American server and I'm from the UK. But Frankfurt is the centralized, the best place in Europe. That's why they have data centers in Frankfurt. But yeah, but it doesn't really matter where you go. But mine's in Seattle, and then we'll go further down. So 2-core, change your location. This is important. Make sure it's Windows Server 2019. Back in the day, for many years we used 2012, but you don't need to know more. 2019, boys. It makes things a lot easier, aka you don't have to install the C++ redistributable packages, etc. You literally you can get on the server and get installed in XAMPP, Heidi, and get cracking. So Windows 2019 and your cores is the only things I tell you guys to affect when coming to setting up a server. So the only thing we have to do though is you have to pay like a Windows license, £8 to get that installed. So month to month it's going to cost us $17 for a server that runs 24/7, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You'll have no problem with the support, the tickets, systems. They all work well. I've used them for many years. And yeah, so what's that, about £12? Cheap as bloody a pack of cigarettes. If you're going to set up a 5M server properly, then you need the right service, the right VPS to start with, you know. So what you do is you've got your selections. You don't need to change anything else or press anything else, as long as it's 2019 and as long as you've changed your cores month to month. This is a new server. Give it an identifier, just the name for when you're in your control panel. You can identify that's your VPS you just bought. You know, you don't need to do any of that, and just click request server. That is it. So that's when people ask me what server do I use. This is where I come, and this is where I get my VPS from. Okay, let's move on. Let's say You've just ordered your VPS, you've waited for it to be installed because you'll have a control panel, and in your control panel it'll tell you the status of how far installed your VPS is, and you get an email, or it's in that control panel with the IP to your VPS and your password to log into that VPS. So then what you'll do is you've got something called remote desktop control. Every PC's got it, and it looks like this. If you type in your little search remote desktop connection, this is what you're after. So the IP that the email sent you, you'd put in here, and then we'd go to connect. You can change the display and there's more options. And here you'd type in your password that will be given to you in the email. And when you log on, I always describe it, excuse me, just like logging into another PC. It's literally just like logging into another PC. So this is a fresh server now. This hasn't got anything on it. It's got no XAMPP. It's got no Heidi. This is what yours would be similar to this. It's just a brand new base. It's a brand new server. So the first thing you need to do, the first thing that I do on my own PC, not actually on the VPS, on my own PC, I'll go to Google and I'll download Chrome. Okay? Then I'll drag a Chrome over. So another thing people don't know, you can right click off your actual desktop PC. Right click up and you can actually paste onto the VPS, which is pretty sick. So when I've downloaded Chrome on my actual PC, I'll do so for example, I've just downloaded Chrome on the PC and I've got a setup.exe, then I'll copy that and I'll paste it over onto the VPS, and then I'll set up Chrome. So the first things first, I've got Chrome on the VPS. Happy days. Next thing, I'll start downloading our server packs for the server files, the server folder. So have I done so? I'm not too sure. Let's have a look. Did I start downloading? Downloads. RIBESX10. So yeah, it's in here. Let me get rid of all this. Okay, so to open up the folder, you need something called WinRAR. You should know what WinRAR is, boys. You shouldn't be deving bloody servers. So if you haven't got WinRAR or WinZip, go and get it. It's to open up a zipped folder. You know. So WinRAR, it's free. Get the English version. Happy days. Okay, so what I need to do, what I'm going to do now, I've got my server files that I'm using. So I'm using RIBESX10. I've got my server files on my VPS downloaded, and I have obviously installed Chrome, got the files downloaded, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back into Chrome and I'm going to download XAMPP. Download XAMPP. Okay, download XAMPP. You can jump straight into it with Windows 2019, which is the good stuff. No messing around with those C++ and all those Visual Studio, etc. It's a lot easier. So here we're going for the Windows version. Okay, let's just download that. It's downloading down here, and while that's doing that, we might as well download Heidi as well. Download Heidi. Okay, okay. Download Heidi. Okay, I know what we do here is download Heidi. Installer. Fucking spam shite. It's downloading two of them. Okay, well they're downloaded anyway. Right, so let's close this. XAMPP and Heidi have downloaded. So let's go back into our downloads. First things first, I'm going to set up XAMPP. So double click. Let's run this. Another beauty thing about a VPS server that a lot of people don't realize is you don't have to port forward on a VPS, boys. Only on a local PC. I had a couple of people coming to me saying they can't find how to access the root. You don't port forward on a VPS. It's the beauty of it. So let's go next, 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 next. So this must be running at all times or you will not connect to your database. This is for the connections to your database with the MySQL. So let's get this unpacked and installed. Literally, you can have a server up in 5 minutes. The only thing I'm going to need is my license keys, etc. I'll go and pinch my server CFG from my other files. My other server, sorry. So let's let this do its thing. Unpacking files. Let's jump onto the other VPS. Just so I can get our updated server CFG. Okay, okay. Right, this is my other VPS. Forget this, boys. Server CFG. Copy that. Get off that. Right, that's still installing an example. Let me just put my... Oh, you numpty. A bit premature there. Let's go back onto my... You can't paste it while the server's closed, can you, you big donkey? Okay. Back on. Let's do that again. Do. Copy. Just go that way. Boom, boom, boom. Get on the desktop now. I'll paste it over here. There we go. Paste. Sweet. So let's close this one. Yep, you can go. How's this getting on? Still installing. This is only a little, this server here is a little 3-core test server, I'm pretty sure. But we can't do a lot until this is installed. So I'll go off the mic for 2 seconds. Hit the like while I'm off the mic. Yes, mate. That's probably the longest part of the install, but looks like it's nearly done. Come on. Then from here, there's a couple of little things we need to do. Like I say, XAMPP needs to be running at all times for it to communicate with the MySQL and your database, Heidi. So come on. No XAMPP, no likey. Come on. Who else does that? Puts it to the end to make sure it hasn't stopped. Not on this line. Right. Are we done? Beautiful. Beautiful. Come on. Come on, we're on a speed install here. Creating on install 25%. You crack on now, buddy. 75. Okay. In your own time. In your own time. Right, there we go. Okay, so we need to start the control panel up. So let's click finish on that. Let's minimize that. And it's going to start the control panel for us. And it'll look like this. Here is one we made earlier. Pop up for me now, please. Just think about little 3-core servers. They take a... Yeah. More cores are better, but 2 cores work well. Right, all you need to install here, boys, is double click this red cross next to MySQL, which will install MySQL, which is needed to communicate with the database. So as you can see here, it's all installed correctly. Then click start, and it will start on port 3306. So there we go, that's done. XAMPP is done. Minimize. Thank you, please. Next one, let's go back to your downloads. And we're going to do Heidi. So let's just double click Heidi, go to run. This won't take long. But it is imperative that you use exactly the same names. Whatever I do, you do. So go to next, and let's go next again. Next, and just install. Launch Heidi, and then we're going to create a new session within Heidi. Just like this. That's what you need to do, guys. I'm going to delete that because it Could be an old previous one it's picking up. Click no. Like I say, it's an unnamed session. Doesn't really matter. This is the important thing. To make sure your user is root and there's no password. User is root. There's no password and the port is 3306 because you saw that port on the XAMPP. Then click open. And what we're going to do now is we're going to go right click in this white space. We're going to create a new database, and this is going to be called essential mode. Exactly one word, exactly as it appears there. Essential mode. If you don't have that, it won't work. Go OK. Thank you, please. And what we're going to do now is we're going to go to our download folder, which looks like this, and then we have our big folder that we downloaded from the RIBESX10 website, which is our server, pre-built server files that's been worked on for many years, thousands and thousands of edits and resources, you know the score. So let's go into here, and here's one I made earlier. Here's all old builds, but let's just paste this in here. It's going to take, it's only down to 3.8 gigs, so it's not that big now, where I removed like hundreds and hundreds of vehicles to optimize the performance. Less modded cars, the better, and I literally removed hundreds, so in this version. But as you know, you get if you're a support and member to the RIBESX10 website, you get access to every version, every resource we've ever made and released. So yeah, if you want to put the 1,000 cars back in, you're more than welcome. Anyway, are we going back off comms while we do this? So that the server folder does have to be in your C drive for it to work. If it's not in your C drive, you will have to edit the server run.bat with the new location, but ours are configured for the C drive, so make sure you pull it in the C drive, which is what we're doing now. And I'll be back in 2 seconds when it's done its thing. Okay, so our server folder is in the C drive. So what we're going to do now is with WinRAR, we're going to be extracting in here. Extract, which again, it's the same again. It's going to probably take a while again. Do do do. There we go. Yeah, it's going to take a while again. So I'll be right back when it's done. So the reason I put it in here is I need this SQL, and then we can go back into Heidi. So I'll be right back. Okay, eventually that one's extracted too. So now what we wanted is we want access to this SQL file for the database. So what we can do is I can just delete the .raw because we don't need that. Piss off. Thank you, please. And now we've got the full folder and we've got our SQL. So what I need to do now is let's close all these. Close window. Right. Ooh, I need to get this. There we go. I'm still using triple screen, so it's ruined all my displays. Anyhow, so we've got Heidi installed. We've got XAMPP installed. We had MySQL within XAMPP installed. Then we installed Heidi. So let's go open. We've created the essential mode database. So now what we're going to do is go to File, Load SQL file. Let's go to our C drive, Computer, C drive, and let's find that full SQL. Down to the bottom. This one here. Open. And it's going to load the full SQL for us. So now what we want to do is we go refresh, boom, sorry, file, run SQL file, scroll down to RIBESX10, open, and there we go. It's executing all our rows. So now if we go to right click in the right, go to refresh, and as you'll see, we've got all our tables. You can go down these tables and delete information, but only delete information. For example, when I go to users and go to data, if it's got a Steam ID in it, it can be deleted. If they haven't got a Steam ID, don't delete it. So if you wanted to delete this database here with the information, just right click users and go to empty table. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. Empty table. I'm brand new here. Get out of my face. Thank you, please. Let it do its thing. Boom, boom, boom. Shit the room. What's this? An error occurred. Blah, 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 blah. Bugger off. It's not letting me delete the users. What? 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 Let's go back. Users. Data. Okay, they've all gone. Sweet. So all the users are gone. So what I want to do now, let's get rid of that. Let's go to our C drive again. C drive. And let's go to the RIBESX10, which is the latest. Okay, this should be empty. The cache file should be empty. Just a little tip. When you edit files or resources, you've always, before you do the next resource, you've always got to empty this contents within the cache and the files. Otherwise, you're just starting old files again. But there's a couple of things you need to edit in here, guys, and that's in the server CFG. So if we go into the server CFG and we scroll to the bottom, no, I don't need to download that. And I open up my files with Notepad++. If you haven't got Notepad++, go and get it. So right, these are all resources. I'll explain all the actual files in the server on a different video. This is just literally how to get the server online. But scrolling all the way to the bottom, and you'll see down here, SV license key. So if you go to the Keymaster website for Fivem, the Keymaster Fivem website, you need to create your license key. It's there. Go and create your license key. Come back here and paste your key in here. Okay, once you've done that, there's something else you have to do. Go to Google and Google Steam Web API key. Or go to this link here. And then in here is where you'd put your Steam Web API key. So those two things are crucial that you need to do. And this phone's doing my head in bloody Discord. Let me just mute that so that's 2 seconds, boys. Okay, so you got your server name. So if we change this to Rib Nation test, so we can get it up and we can go and test. It is online. Rib Nation test. Save that. Happy days. Oh no, actually, I need to put my server. Let's get rid of this. Boom. Here's my server rate CFG with my license key and my Steam Web API key. And obviously, I don't want to expose it right now. We could just get my ass banned. So server CFG's in there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have to change the title, boys. I sod it. If I have to change the info, I'll change the info. Right, let's change the title, which is down here. Without going too far, there it is. So if we go to change the title to Rib Nation video test, save this, close this. Okay, right. If your server folder RibESX10 isn't in your C drive, you need to edit the server starter.bat. So if you go in here, as you can see, it's expecting it to be in the C drive. It's not in the C drive, make sure you change it. If it's not called RibESX10, make sure you change it. Right, let's give this a load. And all being well, the server will be online and we should be able to go and join it. Find new resource. Yeah. Pump them out. Right, so we can go and get Fivem loaded as well. Let's go and give it a test. So the longest job was copying over the bloody server files to the C drive and then extracting the files. Other than that, the server literally with a Windows 2019 VPS, you could have a server using our server pack. You could have a server online in 15 minutes. You know what I'm saying, boys? Literally. Literally. Right, it's not going to find a couple of resources because I've just took this out of RIBESX10, but the same principle applies. So keep going. And I'm these server files have had years of roleplay experience. I had 15,000 hours roleplay time in Arma 3 with roleplay, and then over about 4,000 in Fivem. They've had years of roleplay experience invested into these files with thousands and thousands of edits, hundreds of vehicles, scripts, map builds, you name it. They've got them. Saves you literally. If you're going to set a server up from scratch, it'll take you months and months if you actually get there in the end. But then to get it at the same level as this, you're talking years. So unless you're using a server base, yeah, you've got to use one of these bases. Just saves you absolute years as a server foundation for a server owner. They're a must. And not only that, like I say, you get access to every server base, every map build, everything released on the website, so you can pick and choose and take anything you want from one pack to another. You know, it's like Aladdin's cave. But let's get this started. Obviously, this is only a little 3. I'm sure it's a tiny server. Let's find out what server it is. Pretty sure it's a little 2-core. Can't get. Maybe can we go this way? Computer. We go to Task Manager now. How can we get the Task Manager up? I'm search bar in there. Sorry, it's not important. Bugger off. We could have gone on control panel, I suppose. Is there a Task Manager in here? Where would I find the Task Manager? Yeah, no? Yeah. Because in here, I can find some details. Performance. So yeah, this is a little 3-core VPS. This is obviously the bigger the core, the quicker everything is. It's the first time booting up this server, so it's going to take a while, and then it'll be pretty damn quick next time. Sweet. Come on, Geraldine, you can do it. Nearly there. Nearly there. And there's 2 folders that I suggest you don't touch, guys. Out of all the hundreds, there's 2. And that is ES Extended and Essential Mode. There is literally no need to affect them, to touch them. And pretty much 99% of friggin' Fivem and resources are not updated to work with them, so don't touch them. So it looks like the radar's got an update, but other than that, we're good to go. Okay, so let's go to the server. Let's find this server. That's the old one. Oh no, it's a Rib video test. Rib Nation video test. Happy days, that's what we just called it. So let's connect to this. So the server is online. And I've just got rid of it. Let's find the IP again. That one there. Cancel. Yo. What's it bloody called? Rib Nation server test, something like that. Rib Nation. Rib Nation. It was up and then disappeared. Good old Fivem server list. It's a right intermittent thing. Video test. What about that? Find that. Video. No? Okay. Find it another way. I find it another way, don't worry. See how many Sose Nation servers there are these days. Oh crap. Cancel. Quite a few. And they're all on Rib. Yes, mate. ESX10. Grafting away. I just need the IP for that bloody server, that VPS. What is it? 185.107. 185.107. 96.158. 96.158. 30120. What are you doing, you bloody thing? You were there and then you disappeared. There we go. Get on it. It's the Fivem server list, man. It's so hit and miss. Sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not. But yeah, the server's online, fresh, brand new. Here we are. We'll be greeted with a register screen. And happy days. That, my friends, is an updated December 2020 how to get your Fivem servers online, and even better, how to get the RIBESX10, the latest server pack released over at RIBESX10.com, how to get them online. So I hope it helps. Make sure you hit that like if it has. I'm sure it's helped many because it's yeah, it's well needed, an updated video, Windows 2019 instead of 12. So yeah, let's just wait to get on, log in. I won't set up. Well, I will set up character. So we'll set up a quick character. And here we are. If you want versions with multi-characters, we have them. Just have to check on the website ribsocial.com which versions have got the multi-characters, which haven't. So let's just go quickly. Let's go Rich Banks 1983 to do 196 196. I'm not going to go through all that right now, but there you go, boys. We are in. Server is online. Obviously, change the sort of spawn point. If all that's possible, just we'll go into all that afterwards. This is just how to get the server online. But as you can see, the server, my friends, is online. Yes, Dave likes his post. So that's it. Like I said, the next video I'll do, hit the like if you want me to do it, I'll do an updated video going around the server and explaining what all these are and how all these jobs work, etc, etc. But until then, my friends, I'll see you next time. Take care. Peace out. Stay safe.